So today, am I sharing the right one? What you guys can see? No, I'm not sharing the right one.
Yes, we can.
But I don't think I was sharing.
You were sharing the right one. Now you've turned it off.
Let me go back to this share with the sound, because I will need the sound today. Yeah. And
Welcome, Maria. Bienvenido.
Hello.
bienvenida. So 21st, Saturday 21st, it is today. And for today, for the prayer of the day, given all the circumstances, the issues we have had, and news we have from the world. So I will propose today, I will suggest a prayer, but more like a meditation, and a meditation with the purpose of asking the higher beings, the spirit, to protect the planet Earth, and the humanity, the society, and you name it. But the purpose for today is really to elevate our thoughts and ask for peace among all the human beings, for peace on earth. Okay, so I will go ahead and I will start with this music, and in the meantime I will say the prayer. So let me know if this is too loud. Is that okay? Okay.
Can hardly hear.
It's a bit quiet. Welcome, Hyacinth.
Thank you,
Is that
girl.
okay now?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So guys, let's close our eyes. Let's take a deep breath. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's take a deep breath, relax our body, and let's elevate our thoughts to all goodness, to the higher beings, to our mentors, the mentors of this group, all the beloved ones, those we know they are with the light, they are working for the light. Let's take this moment to mentally see this beautiful, most beautiful light right in front of us. And let's invite the guardian spirits, the higher beings, to be here with us. Let's ask for permission to start our meditation. Dear spirits, we thank you for your presence here among us. We thank you for all the friends, incarnated and spiritual friends here with us. We humbly ask your permission to do this meditation, and we invite you to pray with us. God, our merciful and good Father, faced with the shadows that spread over our planet right now, we wish to plead for your help as we have never done before. We know that the Lord is present everywhere and knows everything that happens on this tiny little grain of sand that we call earth, we call our home. But we wish to express our simple prayer today. Lord, many of your children have forgotten that they are children of light and are obstinate in spreading darkness wherever they go. Some men, women, they lost faith in life, lost faith in the Lord, in the higher beings, and lost themselves. Others think that this planet Earth is on the brink of chaos, and that the Lord, who lights the stars and makes the stars rotate, has abandoned earthly humanity. Have compassion on our moral miseries and bless us. Relieve our ignorance, tolerate our ingratitude, and forgive our lack of faith. Forgetting that in essence we are light, dear God, we allow shadows to cover our vision and makes us unhappy. There is so much lack of light in the world right now. Help us to remove the blindfold of vanity from our eyes, which prevent us from seeing our moral deformities and our smallness in the face of your greatness. Help us break through this shell of selfishness that paralyzes our hands and prevents us from extending our arms to help our brothers. Help us to dilute this mask of arrogance so that we can understand that we are nothing without your love. Teach us, Father, to build bridges of understanding, to strengthen bonds of friendship, to understand others, to love. Help us, Lord, to admit our own fragility, freeing us from arrogance, building gardens, spreading perfume, wiping away tears, walking with courage, believing in life and your unconditional love, spreading hope, always smiling, forgiving without conditions, and finally, dear God, help us to turn our gaze to the stars, even though and even if our feet are still soaked in mud. May the higher beings here with us gather our vibration, the energy that we kindly and humbly offer today. May this energy shower upon all those we pray, all the ones that do not have the privilege of living this day with peace. May this energy heal, protect, and help all the ones in need, all the ones sick. And may this energy, this vibration help them to recover from their sorrow, from their pain, from their suffering. And so be it. Thank you all. So yesterday, not yesterday, but Thursday, I was going to a lecture that we had here in Houston, and I saw the flag of Israel flying over the skies of Houston. So it's very sad that, you know, we have to remind everybody we are all but nothing. We are now nothing but a big giant family. So unfortunately, war is still something that prevails among us. Today, I would like to just share this video that Sonia Rinaldi shared with me. But I guess this is one of the videos that Sandra Champlain, she was sharing with her folks as well. It is about the event that they held in Netherlands, Walking with the Unseen. And share with you today because there are some things that I would like to comment. So let me know if you can hear the sound. I will try.
My job as an evidential mental medium is to bring forward communication from people's loved ones, to give them validation, to give them communication from their loved ones. There must be something to do with one of you, if not both of you, having a holiday or a vacation, going down either to Spain or to Italy. Do you understand? Because he tells me to say, that was awesome. That was awesome.
Red colours are very strong, grounded, basic. So you must be very grounded. Okay, and really quite a strong personality as well.
You know, you are all mediumistic in your own right, in your own journey. So you will have your own experience. So you see the photo there, I will use usually vapor, and then the photo will usually disappear and appear as he or she was when it was alive.
The faith we have in who we are, in whom we might be. Faith in the path that we walk, side by side, knowing the knowledge inside of us, to trust, believe in who we are. Faith in the path we walk, day by day, and step by step.
Leaving behind the imperfections, leaving behind all illness, and stand firmly in the golden shores of our reality.
That was very nice. This is what they shared, and I would like to mention a few things about this video because it's very important as we study Allan Kardec, and we study a lot about criteria. And even though in this event that Scott Milligan and Sandra they put together, even though they are looking for evidences, they're looking for learnings from the spiritual realms, we can see that there are so many things connecting what they do and what we read in the Allan Kardec books. They are talking about learnings based on their own journey and experiences. Evidently, that's exactly what we read and we learn from the messengers, from the spirits and the Allan Kardec's books. But above all things, love is always the message that prevails. So, for example, the First Lady, she was channeling and she was saying, you know, faith in who we are. You walk side by side. We learn, meaning when she says we walk side by side, to me is like we learn from each other, right? So that's how we improve. That's how we learn as we clash between us. You know, we do all those, we live the conflicts and we clash against each other, so we polish our edges. So she's talking about, you know, walk side by side, to believe in who we are. And then the next moment, then we see Scott Milligan and this spirit. I forgot the name of this. This is one of the guides for Scott. I forgot his name. Eric, yes, exactly. Very wise spirit. So Eric is talking about, you know, leaving the illness behind, and to me it's like, you know, leaving our past, the best, the bad habits we had and we used to have, and leaving behind the feelings generated by low vibration, and then it's like leaving the illness behind. And to me, it's not about illness of the body, but the illness of the soul. To step firmly in this golden shore of happiness. I guess that's the next one. But anyway, those two messages in the very short video. So they're talking about something that we, you know, every day that we meet. I see the consistency. I see this criteria between what they do and what we study here in Allan Kardec, and how we do that, how we, when they say living behind the illness, living behind the bad habits, you know, the sadness and all those low vibration feelings, how we do, the answer is the same as love. And going back to what the lady said, because exactly this is about who we are. We are love. That's our essence. And the further away we get from our essence, from who we are, the more sick we become. And the more we understand our essence, and with the more we understand this journey to know more about love, the closer we get to this golden shore of happiness. Anyway, I just wanted to, because when I saw that, I really loved this video, and it was something very touching for me. News from the photo contest. We have our judges, and they are giving me the feedbacks, their feedbacks. So pretty soon we will see the the results. Who is the winner? Like I said, there will be a prize, and I guess you will like what the prize will be. And for today, we already finished the law of liberty. We discussed that last week. So today we are going to start with the law of justice, love, and charity. I just wanted to pause last week. I wanted to pause in law of liberty because it's something really important. It's key, as we understand that although we are all free to choose the next step of or the next chapter of our lives, the Spirit's book calls our attention to use this power that we all have responsibly, right? So it's not by coincidence the law of justice is right after, and we'll see why, the connection. So as we start today, love, justice, love, and charity, I will have a first question to the group for us to discuss. How can we define justice? And what do you think? Is it natural? What is the consensus here? How justice can be defined, and can we say is something natural? Maria, you are on mute.
Sorry. When I think about it, I feel that I don't have knowledge enough to understand what really just can be.
Justice, yeah.
I have one reference, one point that is very important when we don't know all the things we need about it. That is, don't do anything to other people that you don't want for you. Then I think that if I live with this point, I will live in justice. My justice. I think that every people that think if I don't like, if I don't want for me, I don't do to the other one, these people have justice, independent of religions and knowledge and the other things.
Yes, very well said. Yeah, don't do to others what you would not want be done to you. Yeah, Len, please.
Okay, justice is ingrained in all the traits that we elevate our spirituality in terms of compassion, love, gratitude, forgiveness. There's something else. The justice is a major theme in the universe. If you go to the other side, all the temples and halls, there's a hall that's devoted it's called the Hall of Justice. And that's where the Council of Elders sit and developing our life charts. There's a whole hall devoted, it's the Hall of Justice, and that's where the Council of Elders sit and they develop our life charts for all souls of the universe. So justice is a very, very big theme in the universe as a brighter universe of love and the light.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Len. Leda.
There was a time when the humanity thought that justice was eye by eye, every action should be paid in the same proportion, the same amount of how do you say it? Like Moses and like the Hammurabi Code, and
Yeah.
in the ancient time. But then Jesus showed us that justice can be with love and mercifulness, and you should forgive, and you should now our justice now. You don't cut the hand of someone that stole something just because they stole. You tried, the justice now tries to see what this person misunderstood, what concept didn't they have, and try to educate the criminal now. That's the idea now. And so it's a different idea. The idea of justice has evolved with the time and should evolve more and more. It's not that they won't be punished and they won't be called their attention, and they won't have to respond for their actions, the criminals. But now we try to give them a chance to be a better person, and that's a lot because of Jesus. Do you understand?
Yeah, I think what I want to say is in the past, in the ancient times, the justice was translated as punishment, and the more we evolve, then justice little by little be translated as education.
Yeah.
Right? Because the more educated, the higher moral values, if you will, you have, higher ethics values, then there will be more justice, right? So
yeah, and we learn one with the others. So if there is violence, violence creates more violence, more
exactly.
rebellion, and we are learning that we can be gentle and still educate.
Yep. So nobody else, let me go ahead and share, because there is an answer. Come on, computer. Okay. The answer, it is, so is it natural? And the answer is, it is so natural that you are immediately appalled by the idea, appalled? That's how we say appalled?
Yes, appalled.
Appalled by the idea of injustice and injustice. Moral progress definitely inspires this feeling, but it does not create it. God has placed it in the heart of all human beings, and this is why you often find more stringent notions of justice in simple, primitive nations than others that are more educated. So I guess it's kind of a summary of all the comments here, but definitely it has a lot to do with education as opposed to punishment. That's the answer that we see in the question A73 in the books, in the Spirit's book. And then there is a comment, there is an answer as well to the question A75, that is, justice is respect for the rights of each and every individual. So that's exactly what Maria was saying. Lynn, you have a...
Yeah, this is a very interesting concept. There's a significant literature, Sylvia Brown and others, that evidence that the soul, when it gets incorporated into the fetus, if you just had the raw fetus alone at birth, it would be an animalistic type of being. But the soul incorporated into the fetus during the gestation process, the 9 months, etc., whatever, gives morality, gives love, gives all the things we look for, compassion, forgiveness, into the fetus, the brain, the organic brain, and the fetus. So there's evidence that the soul actually how would the term I'd use, like the vector that gives morality to the fetus. Am I making sense here?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And this is what inspired me on that, because it says God is placed in the heart of all human beings. It's the soul from God that actually gives that fetus, takes away a lot of the animalistic raw of the being of the fetus, but gives it that all the traits we look for the higher spirituality, the compassion, forgiveness, love, etc., gratitude. It goes on.
Yeah. And I want to say is at the beginning of this book, but it says about in the chapter that talks about the creation of the spirit, creation of everything else. It says that the divine laws, they're actually built in, during our creation. Those natural laws, they're built in. And as we grow, as we live our experiences, the more we understand and the more we retrieve this knowledge that is actually in our DNA, if you will, just to call something, because there is no denomination to whatever nature we had when we were created. So, Hyacinth, please.
Yes, Len, I'm not a doctor, but the fetus, I mean, there's a time when it is developing, when it's not yet a person. I know people say it's a person at the first conception, but I don't think so, because it's not a person, it's not a viable person till it can live. Anyway, so that I think that this is when it becomes a soul, a spirit, a person.
Yeah, that's why I like what sorry. Somebody's good. That's why I like what I think was Jael mentioned, that justice, one of the definition or synonym of justice is karma. And yeah, because we have to live with the consequences what we did of what we did. And
Hyacinth, you're quite right. The development of the fetus takes quite some time, and according to what I have read in various automatic writings, the spirit can join that fetus even right after birth. This means that
after conception.
No, not
after birth.
Obviously after conception, obviously, because there's no viable being developing. But when a viable being develops, it takes 9 months to develop. The spirit can join during that time. And I have read that there are certain cases where the spirit actually joins the infant right after birth. Now, it's the same old story. One size does not fit all.
Hyacinth?
Oh, I should take my hand down.
Oh,
no,
okay.
it's just that yes, I think it's things happen when the fetus can actually survive. And it can survive, I guess, when there is something else, the spirit, for want of a better word.
Len?
Okay, so you have 9 months of gestation, you have conception, then you have birth. There's an awful lot of literature saying that it's correct. First of all, it's always highly controversial how defines a person. You know what I mean? When the soul actually enters. But there's a lot of evidence that the soul determines, usually at the last part, the last trimester, and even right after birth, it can enter. It doesn't usually enter early on in the gestation process. It's later on that it enters. There's a lot of literature on that indicates that.
And I want to say the next movie from the series of André Luiz, the sequence of the Astral City, I do not know if they will present that, but I want to say is in this book later that it shows, or it talks about the
reincarnation of Sigismund.
Yes. So is this book right? I'm always confused if it's in this book or the next one, The Missionary of the Light, but I think it's in this.
It's Missionaries of the Light, but it's the one that we are going to study now, right?
Yes, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's exactly, yeah.
We're going over that.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But
there is, go ahead.
According to André Luiz, and this is when you have the conception, the spirit is already linked to the body.
Yeah.
In the conception.
And then that linkage will get stronger and stronger as the fetus evolves, and
Yeah. So the more evolved the spirit is, the more freedom he or she will have. The less evolved, then he will be more stuck to the body, more attached
to the again, it's like what Giles says, one doesn't fit all, but it has a lot to do with the level of the spirit.
But the link will be there. The link will be there since conception. But the evolved spirits, they will remain. It's like the silver
cord
thread, the
silver cord.
Yeah, o fio de prata aqui.
The silver cord.
Yeah, so the silver cord is there. So the evolved spirits can go out and come back.
Right.
But they will be linked to the body.
To the body. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. Hi, Sid.
Yes, well, if you choose your parents, because you will get the sort of experience that you need, then there is something going on at conception.
Say that again. If you choose
your parents before you are born, you choose your parents because you will get from those set of people and family the experience that you want to, so that then must happen at conception. That's when the two parents link.
Yeah, and usually the André Luiz's books tell us that usually they ask for permission to the parents, and the parents have to accept as well. So before the conception, before everything goes on, they will ask the parents if they accept those children. There is a case like that. I think it's in the No Mundo Maior, in the greater world, and also in many others. So they always ask permission for the parents to accept the son or the daughter.
The child. Debbie, thank you, Linda. Debbie.
Oh, I understood that. Yeah, the spirit is connected at conception, but then through the gestation, they can come and go as they want. That's what I had heard.
Yes. Yeah. But again, I guess that's what Leda was trying to explain. The more evolved, I mean, the more spiritual is that being, then the more freedom that spirit will enjoy. It doesn't have to be stuck in that, or very close to the fetus body all the time. That spirit can go anywhere else, although it will continue to be linked to that fetus.
I guess there are
So,
many different philosophies and theories.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. We'll learn more as we understand a little bit more. Okay, so as we continue to talk back to the topic, that's justice. So yeah, so we're about to talk about the topic, specific topics for these questions is about natural rights and justice. So the next question to the group is, what does determine these individual rights? Or how exactly we can determine those individual rights? Because if we read over here, justice is respect for the rights of each and every individual. How exactly those rights are determined? Maria?
I think that is the same case we talk about a little minute, because maybe in many circumstances, my individual rights, that is a real right, needs to take a place to our right, to other rights, because the importance that the many peoples have in our lives must be stronger than my rights. All right? Then we need to think that when I'm driving a car and I'm alone in my car, and we have in transit a bus, full of people in a bus, and the bus, the bus driver takes something that's not wrong, and it interferes with my right. But I think that have many people there, and the rights or the necessity of the many peoples is more important than my right. I think that we can't left our rights in many times to think about the right of many peoples. And we can't, I don't know how to speak in English, renuncia, how we can say it.
Renounce?
Because it's important to do well the good things for many peoples.
So you're saying to put the rights of collectivity, or of the group
in front mine.
Yeah, above yours.
Above yours, okay.
Okay.
Above mine, okay. Thank you. I'm learning English here.
Good job, Maria. Well done.
But Maria, when you talk about you're driving a car and the bus is driving a car, then there are rules of the road that takes over. So I'm not quite understanding.
Yes, but in the traffic, it's very common. We forgot the laws, and we are driving very quickly because we are later. Then the bus driver is tired, is driving in bad conditions, and they forgot the law. They forget the rights.
The rules.
the rules. Then in the traffic, we need to take a piece to accept what was going on around us, because
it's a matter, yeah, I understand what it says. It's a matter of attitude. Always think in a scenario that in that bus or in the other car, there is someone with a need, with a higher priority than yours. That's how I interpret. If I see somebody just not applying the traffic rules and just crossing or jumping over, I always think, okay, there must be a pregnant woman in that car, going to the hospital or something like this.
yes.
But I try to have that attitude so I don't get mad or something. I try to justify somebody else's higher priority than mine.
Yes, in our last mediumistic meeting last Thursday, we asked the spiritual guide about the war in Israel and Palestine, and what we can do about it, what we can do to take a place from everybody there. And the spiritual guide said to us that we need to stay in peace, inner peace.
Individually, yeah. Every single one of us, yeah.
Single one of us. Então, then when I'm driving, many wrong things happens when I'm in traffic. If I take my peace in traffic, if I take my peace in the fila do banco, how can I say it in English, Ana?
The queue, in a bank.
Yes, in the supermarket and everywhere. If I take a piece with me, it's not easy. It's not easy because many times my individual rights will be take off me. But we need to take a piece because if we don't, if we put our individual rights above all of things in your community, will we do our work?
What you mentioned is the same message that I had when I did the gospel at home here on Tuesday night. It was precisely the same message, saying that it is up to every single one of us to cultivate, to promote the inner peace, because the more we nourish this of angry hatred, so the more the psychosphere will this psychosphere of anger will prevail, and that's the result. So what we are experiencing is precisely the result of billions of minds and hearts, not exercising, not cultivating inner peace. Yeah. Hi, Sid.
No, my hand should go down.
So, Lori, please.
Hi, everyone. I'm laughing to myself because I love this discussion. I love everybody's comments, and I agree with what Maria said before about do unto others as you would want done to you. And I'm laughing to myself because everybody asks me if my husband is spiritual, and I always say, no, he's not. Well, in this context, in this conversation, I'm realizing that he's highly spiritual. He just doesn't show it as we do by reading books and everything, but he does it in his actions. And he has a saying, and actually he has two sayings, but I can tell both. But one of them is, he always wants to be able to lay his head on his pillow every night. So basically with a clear conscience.
And to me, that boils down to integrity. So I'm going to say that justice to me is like your integrity. And another saying my husband always uses is he's used it with everybody in business, with our children, even helping me with some situations. And his other saying is you can't lose with honesty. So basically it's coming down to integrity. So I don't even know if I like the word justice.
Yep.
I think
Awesome.
I would like to change justice from on my piece of paper here to what does integrity mean to me?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it has a lot to do with your moral, but how evolved are your moral values, your ethics, and so forth.
I'm questioning integrity could replace justice, because integrity is honesty.
Yes.
And dealing, as your husband says, honestly and fairly. And that's just something else.
I think integrity has a lot to do with you understanding when you did wrong, you did bad, and you assume you
repent
take
and
responsibility. You take responsibility for what you did. That's integrity, I guess.
And not only that, but go back and fix it. Go back and
or don't even do it in the first place.
Yes, exactly. The things that, you know, growing up, the things that you could not do, you just didn't do it.
Right. Or in his case, it doesn't.
Those boundaries are gone largely. You do what you want as long as you don't get found out.
Not for everybody.
That's what I mean. No, exactly. But there's still a very few people who does still have integrity.
Yeah, it's like what Gloria was saying. Integrity is doing something when nobody else is watching.
But also, if you look at it, that's how Jesus lived his life.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
This basic honesty within you.
Correct.
You don't think about doing something dishonest.
Well, and that's how my husband lives his life.
There you go.
Yeah.
And that's far better than talking and not doing it.
Yeah, no, he's opposite of that. He's very quiet, very humble, but he wants to do in his mind whatever feels right for him so he can lay his head down on his pillow every night and feel good about how he treated people, I mean, clearly he can't control everything, but he can control his bubble and his world, and in turn it reflects out to everybody who's with him. So myself included, our children, and the world is a better place. It's basically, everybody says, shine your light, shine your light. Well, to him, he doesn't even understand that. But in his own way, he's doing that.
He does, yeah.
Yeah. So
Lori, give him a hug from me.
Well, thank you. I'll take it. Actually, nobody can hug me for real because my back and neck are all screwed up. But I'll take a virtual hug. Hyacinth, thank you.
For your husband.
Oh yeah. He's
for me too.
Very nice. Len, I guess you.
Well, we talked about this a few weeks ago, and it got to a stronger word than integrity, and that's honor. And that's a word that a lot of people cannot spell today. I look at it a little differently. Love is the foundation through all these attributes, whether it be justice, forgiveness, compassion, gratitude, etc. And if you look at justice, if you look at it in certain ways, it actually can be of the many different manifestations of love.
Yep.
And if you don't, if you have, and I always say this to people, if you don't have real love in your life, you have nothing. You have absolutely nothing.
Nothing. Yep.
Uh,
Lost.
So a stronger word than integrity to me is honor. And you can't teach honor. If you have it in your soul, your heart, it always begins with the heart. If you don't have it there, people that I see it all the time. We all see it. People can't spell the word honor. They don't have it. You can't teach it. Either you have it or you don't.
But you can learn it by watching somebody else's example.
Right,
That's how
but
it
you
is.
set the example exactly.
Yeah.
But a stronger word, love. Really, if you think about it, and its infinity of forms, penetrates, impregnates honor, integrity, gratitude, compassion, forgiveness, and on it goes.
Yeah.
It's my take on it.
Yeah. Thank you, Lynn. Lori, seems like you're next. No, Gloria.
Yeah, this business of justice, it has more import for me recently. When I was much younger, I had two things happen that I've been reminded of lately. Once, I was traveling from graduate school in Indiana back to where I lived in California, and I had my two little boys with me. And that is a long drive, and I was all alone. And I pulled into a restaurant in Wyoming someplace because we were going to get lunch. And we sat at the table, and the women waitresses waited on maybe 4 or 5 tables that came in after me that were all working men. And they just had me sit that whole time. And I was infuriated that I was being ignored. It was the injustice of it. And it was because I was a woman, and they said that, well, these men have to get back to work. You don't. In other words, I was trivialized because I was a woman. And maybe 20 or 30 years after that, I remember once I was at a counter, and I was really in a hurry. And I was at the counter, and 2 men came in after me, and they got waited on before me. And I was just infuriated, the injustice of that, because I'm a woman. And then more recently, I had the privilege of getting to see a past life where I was a very privileged man. And my wife's serving me and other people serving me for granted, had no emotional involvement of any kind. And now, more recently, I've had that happen again, like being cut off in traffic or something else. And I realized these were lessons given to me and opportunities for me to control my fury at the injustice of it all. And I'm in a different place. I really am in a different place. It's very powerful to see that that person I used to be needed to learn about privilege, and it's humbling. It's very humbling. And these injustices that I was so angry about, now I'm looking back at them and I'm going, oh, thank you for that learning opportunity.
Gloria, can I ask a question?
Sure.
In that review of that life, as this privileged man, did you insist on your droit de seigneur?
On my what?
Oh, okay.
Let me translate. It means that as the local boss, you get first go at any woman that's married.
Oh, no, I was actually...
Any woman at all.
No.
Oh, no, it's only right after they're married.
No, the young girls, no.
Then you're talking about a dictatorship in the regular medieval things.
Medieval times.
Let me bring up one more thing, because when we started this conversation, and this is a little different take on this, the first thing that came up for me was that in our society, and in many states, it's 3 strikes and you're out. You go to prison for the rest of your life. And I had one brother who was big time into interstate transportation of things he shouldn't have been doing. And he has 2 strikes and he lives in constant fear that he'll screw up and spend the rest of his life in prison. And yet he's never hurt anybody. He's just done the wrong thing. And there are people who have cheated other people out of millions of dollars, and maybe those people have committed suicide over it and whatever, and they'll go to a country club prison for a year or 2 because it's white collar crime. But what my brother did, he could go to prison for the rest of his life for interstate transportation of stuff that he sells that he shouldn't have. So our justice system, our human justice system, is it's messed up. It's just very, very messed up.
Fraught with failure is the word you want. 2 F's in there. Fraught with failure.
Thank you, Giles. Yes.
So since you were talking about that, Gloria, would you please read the answer for this one?
What determines the individual rights? 2 things: human law and natural law. As human beings have created laws in harmony with their values and character, those laws have established rights that have varied with the progress of enlightenment. Your laws, although still far from perfect, no longer include what were considered rights in the Middle Ages. Those rights, while horrific to you now, appeared fair and natural at the time. Therefore, the rights established by humans are not always compliant with justice. Amen. In addition, they only govern certain social relations, while there are an infinite number of actions that are only tried privately by our conscience.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
So that's how we understand what the difference between ethics, because ethics is really based on what is right for me to do, what is wrong for me to do, because it is about human law, and moral values, because moral values is really based on divine laws. And we understand that more as we grow, and we suffer all those consequences of our acts. And as we do that, as we live in this journey, then we understand, based on the consequences of our acts, we understand what is good and what is just for me to do. So the moral value in this case will improve the human law. So the more we acquire those moral values, then we go back, the circle go back, and we change the human law based on higher moral values. We elevate our ethics, I guess that's how it is. Maria, please. Thank you, Gloria.
I want to share with you, since last week we are in meeting, that I have in our published house an author that have many books about the transition of Earth. They are psychography mediumship. Yes, they have this work. And the spiritual guide said to him that the government of the Earth until Middle Age was doing by the people that come out to the other planets, the exilados, how I can say it in English.
Okay, so the people living here on Earth in the Middle Age, they were people from other planets, exiled from our other planets.
I will try again.
The Middle Ages.
Wait a minute, please.
Not only
this author said to us that the exiled people that comes to Earth many million years ago.
Exiled, the exiled.
Yes. They governaram, how I can say it in English, Anna?
They governed
the earth until Middle Age. In Middle Age, these people give to the natural people from Earth the government of Earth. And we have the Idade das Trevas. How I can say it in English? Idade das Trevas?
The Dark Ages.
Yes, the Dark Ages. And nowadays, we are not more in Dark Ages. And the natural spirit of this time is able to govern the earth with correct way, with the correct rights. But many exilados,
exiled,
and many spirits that are from the earth doesn't want to live according God's law. And it's very interesting because when the people from earth govern the earth, we have a dark age. But we get out of this period. And nowadays, we have many of us that is natural from earth, that we accept the God's law and we do the right things. It's very interesting to the humanity of earth.
Yeah. So yes. So you're saying that this author that published many books, he was saying that in the past the exiled people from other planets, they governed the planet, and that's when we were experiencing the Middle Ages. And right after that, the government of Earth was transferred from their hand to the hands of the spirits natural to the planet Earth. So that's when we lived the Dark Ages. And those spirits, then they learned the natural law, so they accepted, they learned their lessons, and now they are having the chance to still stay in charge of the planet, govern, but making more use of higher ethics, higher moral values. Although we cannot say that is everybody. We still have, let's be polite and say there room for improvements.
Joanna, thank you. You are my interpreter.
Translate. So yeah, we still have lots of room for improvements, but no doubt. So Debbie had an interesting question. She was saying that if during the Middle Ages we were governed by ETs, and Debbie, the books, based on the books that we have read, seems like we do not have really a whole lot of people natural to planet Earth. Most of us, we came from other places. So remember, this is a school, and like any other school, we have people from everywhere. And yeah, so lots of ETs around the area. Yeah, in the house. Okay, guys, so 4:13 here in Houston. Any last comments? I will not continue with the next question, but anything else?
I want to explain to all of us, because my English is not very good, but I want to talk about what I see in my journey, a long journey. I'm 65 years old, and 50 years I spent in the spirituality center. Then I try to share with you some things. Sorry, because my English is not very good.
You did an excellent job. So she was saying, despite her 65-year-old, she was just eager to share all the knowledge from her 50 years studying Spiritism. Very nice, Maria. Thank you.
Yeah, Maria, your English is an awful lot better than my Portuguese.
Oh, yes.
You know how many words I know in Portuguese?
Yes.
0. Just about. So you
No,
are
no,
doing
you know how to
magnificent.
say
You
obrigado.
say in Italian, magnifico, bravo.
Yes,
Okay,
there you go.
fantastico. All right. The only thing, and a quick one, I sent out that email regarding the monthly community chat. We discussed
yes.
the car. You, Lori, Maria. It was Maria's idea. I was sitting next to us. We were driving. You remember we had I call them automobile conferences, the auto conferences.